Good evening and welcome to the nighttime heat tonight on Prime FM 105.5. We are streaming live on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Just tap a nighttime heat, and of course, you're going to watch the show online as well. Also, we are streaming live on Prime FM Morovia 105.5. Ram FM Morovia 105.5. We are streaming live also. We want you to share the live videos so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow what's happening tonight on the program. Well, tonight promises to be very, very interesting as usual. And of course, I know you've been following trending issues. But first, let me just acquaint you of what is coming up tonight. First, at 8:30, we'll have an interview with Mr. Morris Dukley. I know you heard that name before. Mr. Dukley is a former Minister of State for Presidential Affairs in the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration. During the Liberian Civil War, Mr. Dukley was Speaker of the Transitional Legislative Assembly. He's a career Liberian journalist with many years of experience. And of course, tonight, he'll be our guest that is at 8:30. But before then, there's this news, in fact, on social and mainstream media about expulsion news from that's Montserrat County Representative Yeke Koluba, who understands that the Liberian National Police complained this Yeke Koluba to the House of Representatives, and besides, there's a letter from one of his colleagues, Representative Small Molba. So it seems that Representative Yeke Koluba has a lot, in fact, facing him. So we're going to talk about that tonight as well. And of course, the story from Page Africa ran regarding a conversation between our president, that of the French president, Emmanuel Macron, asking for his intervention in the border dispute between Liberia and Guinea, in which Macron denied or declined to comment, declined to intervene. Front Page Africa ran that story, but we are hearing that that story is untrue. We're going to play the voice, the video, the clip, the audio, and video clip of the ambassador here representing Macron. What did she really say? Did she say that the two presidents, President Boakai and President Macron, didn't speak at all? We're going to listen to the video and, of course, and do our own analysis. Also, today, Liberia played a host to a lot of foreign dignitaries who came to attend the first ever Africa Fisheries Conference. We're going to talk about that as well tonight on the nighttime heat. That's the first ever National Fisheries Investment Conference. We'll talk about that today also on the program. The executive mansion has dismissed media reports that the source of the Guinean-Liberian border dispute is all about signed money. We understand from the presidential press secretary that is not true. That's totally untrue. And of course, also on the program tonight, we're going to talk about the convention held by the People's Action Party. And of course, during that convention, Sir Joseph, Senator of Montserrat County, was elected as the political leader. We understand. But it's the People's Action Party another helping verb? We'll talk about that tonight as well. Well, I'm sure you're quite aware that General Power has been on the social media beating another war drum, despite the warning from the national government. Why should non-state actors continue to defy the government, defy the minister of justice? He said non-state actor has absolutely nothing to do with what is happening at the border, and so they should stop beating war drum. But we heard General Power again talking about that right after General Botnick. We'll talk about that tonight as well. Now, so how much, our final story tonight, we heard that the DA, that's the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency, arrested a Guinean national with some 1.1 million United States dollars and some quantity of narcotics, of tramadol. But it's a reported that may not be the actual amount. So tonight, we're going to talk about all of that on the nighttime heat. We have our one of our colleagues who've joined us, one of the panelists. And of course, we understand you always be here. He's a Liberian journalist, very promising, a younger man. He understands the politics of the country. We'll talk about, he's part of us tonight. And of course, you always be here. But let me welcome David Benedictus Erasmus Namwitawe, who's always here on time. Dave, welcome.
Good evening, Sabot, and good evening, everyone, including all our friends who haven't arrived yet. I'd like to say hi to Moses out there and say hi to Francis, who has joined us.
Okay, Francis, let me welcome you to the program.
Thank you so much, Sawa.
Let me try to put the microphone on quickly. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sawa. Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for having me on one of Liberia's best radio station while listening to a radio station, Prime FM.
Okay. We're still expecting Josh Kennedy. I'm sure he's making his way. Edwin family as well. They both are making their way. They always come in as twin. So I know they're exactly going to come in as twin tonight on the nighttime heat. Like I said, you have to share the live video so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow what's happening tonight on the program. And of course, tonight is going to be very wonderful. We're going to have a splendid discussion talking about, a couple of trending issues. First, we'll be talking about the issue relating to Yeka Koriba. We understand that the police has written, reportedly, we understand that the police has written the House of Representatives. We'll talk about that. So Yeka Koriba is faced with two major battles from two fronts. First, they are complaining from the LMP, and of course, the communication written by his colleague, Sumo Molba, who's asking for his expulsion as well. And then the story written by Front Page Africa that our president and that of the president of France, Macron, Emmanuel Macron, held a meeting and held a telephone conversation in which Macron said, well, he's not prepared to intervene in the crisis or in the dispute or in the feud between Liberia and Guinea. But we understand that the ambassador is saying something that's been interpreted by authors as such discussion not being held at all. So we're going to talk about that tonight, and of course, and other issues. Let me welcome the other panelists so that we get the ball rolling. George, welcome.
Good evening. Good evening.
My name is
good evening to our hundreds of thousands of listeners out there and to my co-panelists. we say welcome again, and our technicians we say welcome again. Tune in to listen to one of the most tasteful discussions again tonight. Yeah.
Okay, welcome to the program. Edwin, let me welcome you.
Thank you so much, and good evening to you guys, to our friend and brother Sandy in the United States, to our listeners in Radio Land, those watching us via the internet, YouTube, Facebook. Once again, we're glad to be here tonight.
Okay, I know Moses is not on yet.
He's on.
Okay, let me welcome Moses quickly. Moses, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So thanks out of you, Edwin, George, David, and our crew. I want to say thank you. It's good to be back on the battlefront.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Let's try to get into our discussion quickly because at 8:30, like I said, we'll be playing host to former Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Maurice Dukley. I'm sure you know that name very well. He's also a career journalist with many years of experience. He served as the Speaker of the Transitional Assembly during the Civil War. Let's talk about gentlemen. We are hearing, reading and hearing also that Yeke Koluba. But let me read what I have quickly, and then we'll get into discussion. The leadership of the House of Representatives met today in leadership meeting. Placed the expulsion of Representative Yeke Koluba was a key item on the agenda. The leadership reviewed the complaint against the Liberian lawmaker, Representative Small, brought him a Representative Small Molba, complaint that the District Number 10 lawmaker undermined the sovereignty of the Republic of Liberia. Representative Koluba recently announced. Okay, so gentlemen, I can read on because we don't have the time, but let me just summarize. Today we are hearing that the House met the leadership, and the issue of Yeke Koluba was brought on the floor. But after the entire Facebook and mainstream media reports, I managed to contact the spokesperson of the House of Representatives. And Mr. Roberts Haynes, he confirmed that yes, indeed, the leadership met. He indicated that the full plenary is still out. So the leadership of a meeting, if I met today, yes, he confirmed that the letter written by Small Molba for the expulsion of Representative Koluba was placed on the agenda. And he also confirmed that yes, indeed, a letter from the Liberia National Police was also sent to the House of Representatives. And that letter is complaining Yeke Koluba basically for statement he made concerning the border. But like Hans said, those two instruments, the letter from Representative Molba and the letter from the police, have been placed on the agenda. But that could not be discussed because the full plenary is out. They only have leadership that meet, frequently to discuss the leadership issue. So those two issues, those two instruments are on the docket. Now, the question is, gentlemen, with the communication from the police, backed or coupled with the letter written by Small Molba, do you think that, well, let me begin with you, that Yeke has Yeke is totally in the hot water? Let's put it that way.
Yes.
Please.
At least
That's new link. Sorry? New link. Okay.
Yeah. Yeke that found himself in what I would call a political quagmire. And I guess he has he has the ability to redeem himself or further indict himself. But it depends on the decision of the full plenary. The leadership of the legislature alone cannot make any decision in terms of expulsion, the expulsion of Yekede. I think the rules say to 10 majority, right?
49.
49. That will be placed on the table. And if the votes will be cast, the votes will be cast. If Yeke, that would determine Yeke's fate at the national legislature. Regarding what is in the police communication, we don't know. They didn't disclose it, right?
The police is complaining him
disclose-
also for a statement he made because police think that he also brought us on
National
national
security.
security.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah. So Yeke is actually, one cannot determine what will come out of it, because what we do know is that there's a split in the House regarding his proposed expulsion. There's a split. There are a lot of others who are in the legislature, members of the House of Representatives, who are opposed to expulsion and suggesting suspension. There are another group that are also backing the issue of expulsion. So that will be determined if the lawmakers return to Capitol
But
Hill.
you don't see it as Yeke being in hot water. It's not a
Well,
metro.
If I say he's in a political quagmire, it's almost like the same hot water.
Mm.
Yeah, because he's entangled, he's embroiled in a serious situation.
Okay, let me hold you there. Now,
it
Edwin,
depends on-
Mhm.
let's hear from you from the angle of the police. Do you think the LMP, because it has been already confirmed by the House spokesperson? In fact, before I confirmed that, I managed to contact the spokesperson of the Liberian National Police, but they were playing their own game there. They didn't want to come straight on confirming that that communication has been out. I spoke with the spokesperson of the LMP, and he was saying, "I'll call you back. I'll call you back." He called back. He couldn't say anything, but until I could confirm it with the spokesperson of the House, that those communications are there. They are on the agenda for Yeke's expulsion. Do you think you are a legal person?
Mhm.
Complaint of such nature should be coming from the LMP?
Yes, of course. The LMP is under statutory responsibility to protect the peace of our country. They are there to protect life and property. And at every given point in time, if they feel that your utterances has the propensity to create chaos, they can invite you for cautioning. Now, for Honorable Yeke Koluba, who falls within another branch of government, quote unquote, the first branch of government, the honorable thing to do is to complain him to the leadership of the legislature, quote unquote, the lower house, through the office of the speaker. And I read the complaint on the internet. It did not call for his expulsion, but it was just complaining him that the statement that he has made has a propensity to inflame the situation and quote unquote cause security instability in the country. So yes, the police are 100% right to do that. It is within their statutory mandate to do so.
Okay, so at 9:30, at 8:30, like we said, we'll be playing host to Mr. Maurice Dukley, former Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. That is at 8:30. Let me hear from you, George. Do you think, and this question goes to you directly, the police bringing a complaint against Yeke Koluba? At the same time, Yeke Koluba has a letter against him from his colleague, Smo Molba. Do you think those are all strategies or attempts to really pin down Yeke?
I don't think so. Nobody pushed him to do what he did. He went at his own volition. He did what he did. He said what he said. He went in fight. He said he stood by his words on Spoon. So if there is punishment thereof, he should go through it. I told you before. I said when we were in the media in mainstream, our ratings, our coverage, everything that we did was guided by Article 15 of the Constitution. We have all the press freedom law. We have for me, that's what I use. Okay, most of them. That's why I was never accused or liable or prosecuted by anybody for writing falsehood. All right. I knew all the international bills protecting journalists, but I decided to work in line with the laws of Liberia. Article 15 says you have a right to a freedom of speech, but you are also responsible for any injury that you may cause to the man was clear. He said, and I quote, "I have done my investigation." And my investigation shows that particular portion of the land where Guinea is for Guinea. He said, in fact, even all the traditional people there know that the place for Guinea. And he went on spoon in the daytime. He was trying to deny. The reporter said, "I should play your voice." He said, "Yes, play it." I didn't say so.
So in another word,
When you play his voice, he heard his voice. He said, "Okay, I stand by it. Anything you want to do, let him do it."
So you are saying that the complaints from the police and that of the communication from his colleague Small Molba, they are all justified.
They are all justifiable.
Either to expel him or to suspend him.
No, I cannot prescribe the punishment thereof, but in my opinion, it's a breach, it's a treason.
What makes it treason?
It's a
Okay,
crime
let me hold you
against
there.
the state.
Let me hold you. We'll talk about treason later on. You're trying to elevate this whole thing.
It's a crime against
Moses,
the state.
Moses, let's hear from you, and then we'll come to our new friend. Moses, let's hear from you quickly.
Look, I'm laughing. George, you got me cracking real hard. I listen to you guys. Everybody spoke with passion. And, let me begin with my brother David Tagbe. He used a very strong word. He said Yeka Koluba is filled with what you call a political quagmire.
No, but you can you react. Let me go ahead. Go ahead. The man wants to start with response now.
Yeah, so Mr. Tagbe,
No.
oh my God.
Listen, hey, George, you're not going to develop the heat. Also,
Yeah, because it can be started.
Go ahead.
So,
Yeah,
Mr. Tagbe used a very powerful word, political quagmire. The literal meaning of the word quagmire, it means an insolvable problem. So it means that our Yeke fate is already determined. The problem is not solvable. But as the same Tagbe would say, well, the house is divided. Getting the number will be a challenge. So then, Mr. Tagbe, what are you talking about? You said the guy is faced with an insolvable problem. So I think Mr. Tagbe should take that word back.
I think you're looking
Now,
well for my
So
accommodation.
let me come to something that I want to say. The complaint from the police, the letter from Representative Small Molba, that is my reading into the book. The complaint from the police is part of the ploy to ensure that Yeke Koluba is thrown out of the House of Representatives. Because they already have a complaint for a member of the House who has accused this guy of treason. Or, the man has taken side with enemy forces. The man is engaged in espionage. The man is aiding and abetting. That's what the word treason means. When you aid or abet, you engage in activities to unseat a constituted government, you can be charged with treason. So Molba has come with all these allegations, and the police said, you know what? To further compound the problem for this man, we also going to raise the issue of what? National security. And the police has the right. If the guy says something that threatens national security, the police can make a request because it's an honorable member of the House. They can get arrested like that. They can make a request to the leadership of the House. Once that request is granted, then the police can begin its probe. So in summary, what I'm saying is that Honorable Molba, who made a complaint, is working in collaboration with the police to ensure that Yeke Koluba is thrown out of the House. But one thing these people forget to know, it is the very UP alliance. Have you forgotten about the rescue mission? These are the people that travel. These are the people that travel the country, promoting the very Yeke Koluba that we have today. Yesterday, Yeke Koluba threatened the peace and stability of Liberia.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, make a
Just give
point.
us a
You made
mother.
a point.
Thank you.
Yeah, 1 minute, you made a
I
point.
wanted to
George want to.
I wanted to correct
You can't remember what he said. What he
yeah,
said. Okay.
the word quagmire does not mean insolvable. It simply means difficult to solve.
But yes, a many, yeah.
You cannot, it simply means difficult to solve. You are in a problem or something that is difficult to solve. It does not mean insolvable. When something is insolvable, but no solution at all.
But yes, a many.
This man, you could say he's in hot water, he faces quagmire, this and that, all kind of things. I was in the newsroom and we were using it. Does not mean it cannot be solved.
And see, it said it also means,
Yeah,
it also means it refers to a soft, muddy, or boggy area of land that is difficult to walk on.
That is why I say difficult to solve. but it
Okay,
doesn't mean
gentlemen,
that you can't say-
let's hear from our new friend also who just joined us.
Yeah.
Welcome, Francis.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for a beautiful round table.
Yeah, you are on the table with your professional kids. Yes,
veterans,
let's discuss
Experts
as professional
and
quickly.
well,
Mhm.
educated journalists. For my own analysis, I think Honorable Yeke need to first thing see himself in the mirror, and he need to apologize to the people of Republic of Liberia for using overstatement. I'm a student of criminal justice and law enforcement.
Wow.
So from the bigger standpoint, any statement you use or any allegation you put out in a public sphere or in a public space, you should be responsible enough for you to be able to defend it by bringing your own evidence. Those evidences will be used in our jurisprudence system to adjudicate as to whether those allegations were truth or were lie. And you know, under our law, you don't say lies. Lies is like he told you, lies is treasonable.
If you want Yeke to apologize, on what ground?
That's what I'm saying. Yeke should apologize. The first thing Yeke he used overstatement. Yeke was like too happy speaking, like he had full control over the boundary in which is disputed. This boundary been around for a hell of a long time. I don't remember which time Yeke ever took his leg or walked to that particular spot in which that is disputed. Not until current time, the situation is still, fragile. Yeke haven't gone there yet to go and see the area in which we're talking about. I don't know where he draw his clues from, saying that the land belongs to the Guinean, and making the Guinean to have happy heart and thinking that they own the land. So I see Yeke's statement as a recipe for confusion. His statement is highly dangerous. It's a dangerous statement you are making. He's trying to put two states here together to cause confusion.
Okay, let's hold you there. Let's hold you there because we'll continue with our discussion. I know a couple of things we have to talk about, including the publication by the Front Page Africa. In fact, it's been reported that the ambassador yet said that she's not aware of any telephone conversation between her president and that of our president, although it's been interpreted that the Front Page Africa has lied, although there are others on the other side who think that Front Page Africa didn't lie. We'll talk about that as well tonight. But first, we have, as guests, like we said, kindly share the show, share the live video, so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow what's happening tonight on the program. And share the live video. We want you to share so that everybody can know that at night time he is on, and we'll have a couple of trending national issues to talk about. Tonight, we said to you that if you saw the flyer that we had on social media, we have a veteran Liberian journalist, a career journalist. But, aside from that, he's been holding lots of national positions. Lastly, he served as the presidential, and that presidential press secretary. I let the press in too much. Lastly, he served as the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, during the administration of former President Ellen Johnson, Sirleaf Morris Dukley. I'm making reference to. I know you heard her name before. Besides, during our Civil War, he served as a Speaker of the Transitional Legislative Assembly. Like I said, he's a career journalist with many years of experience, very, very strong in opinions and decisions he made. Tonight, we're going to play host to him. We haven't heard from him for a very long time. And of course, he's our guest tonight on the program. And like I said, share the show. He's a man with wisdom. I know you want to hear from him. Share the show so that many people, including your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners, can also follow on what's happening tonight on the Nighttime Heat. Let me welcome Mr. Morris Dukley. Welcome to the program, sir. Mr. Dukley, kindly unmute. Welcome to the program. Okay, welcome to the program.
I'm not on mute.
Okay, fine. We are hearing you. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for the wonderful introduction, and I'm happy to join your other panelists. Do you have a lady on the panel?
No, not there yet.
No,
there yet.
There's a mute thing you're doing, but anyway,
we'll bring it later on.
Okay, it's really wonderful reconnecting with you. It's been a long time since I left Liberia, and I've not spoken to you, but we have a mutual friend. I'm sure he may be on the program, who said that perhaps I should talk about this because my last position was really as Minister of Internal Affairs.
Okay.
So issues of border conflict and all of those things fell within my ministerial authority. And so I'm happy to share the little I know about it. And so therefore, thank you. And also, I'm happy to join your other panelists. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dukley. We have on the show, let me try to introduce the panelists. We have Mr. George Kennedy. Mr. Kennedy has been a journalist over the period. He's one of our panelists here. We have also Mr. Edwin Famula. Mr. Famula just recently graduated from the Louis Arthur Grant School of Law. It's about practicing now. So I'm hoping when you have cases here in Liberia, just to make sure you know. You get no, I'm looking for cases for the man. So when you get cases, I can eat something. You know. And also we have David Benedictus Erasmus Nangwe Tabo, the man that got the longest name. He's also one of our panelists, and our young brother Francis Nye. He's a Liberian journalist. He's also on the program as a panelist. We try to reaching out to the females, and we also have Mr. Moses Sandy, who was in the diaspora with you there. He's also a member of the team here. Like I said, we're trying to reach out to females. Many of them always shy. Shy. They are always not. Shy away. They are not always. Prepared to come on, but we're still trying to engage them, small, so we can get at least one or two females on the program. But again, welcome to the program, Mr. Dukley. We haven't heard from you long time ago. For a period of a long time now, we have not heard from you. It's good that we'll have you as our guest tonight on the Nighttime Heat. First, after leaving office, we want to know, what are you involved with currently?
In retirement. So I always held that you play your part and you leave the scene.
Yeah.
I joined government when I was a senior in high school, back in the early 70s. Served government throughout. Now I am a ripe 72-year-old man going to 73. So I have left all I had on the playing field of Liberian politics. And so I'm just spending time with my wife, my children and grandchildren. So basically that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay. I know my colleagues will come in, but let me exhaust my 3 questions and then they will also come in. Yes, I know you are in retirement, you are keeping time with the families, but I know you are also, sometimes you sit home and you reflect on your days in government. Has there been any time that maybe you sat and said, well, I don't think I was in this administration, I don't think we did we did certain things well. I'm sure we made some errors in the past, or do you sit at times and you reflect on that?
Well, so I reflect on the totality of Liberian life. Many years ago, when the war was still on, I told some friends who had come to visit with me that the only constant about Liberia is that we forget too quickly, too easily. And then that takes me back to what the late progressive bishop, Benny D. Warner, said when he was selected by President Talbot, the late, to be his vice president. What is wrong with Liberia is Liberians. Okay? And so everything that is happening, decorum has collapsed in Liberia, especially at the level of the legislature. People get up and talk without decorum, without boundaries, without respect to their own responsibilities to the people who elected them. And so that is a concerning thing for me. As I grew up in government, I never heard members of the legislature saying things that could be considered inimical to the peace and security and stability of Liberia. But now it's an everyday thing. You hear some legislators will say, I wish this, I will work to make sure that this government fails. But you are part of the government. When one branch of the government fails, you fail. Then somebody will say the Guinean-Liberian border issue goes back to the founding of these two countries. As you well know, and as your listening audience knows, Liberia was never a colony.
We'll talk about that, Mr. Dukley. I know you want to go into that quickly. We'll talk about that, but we just want to speak with you on few things about your days in government and getting out of government, and how do you see the we'll talk about that the
okay,
issue of the
understand.
But let me ask you before my colleagues to come in. When you served in the last administration of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, was it all rosy, or were there some challenges, or were there some failures, or was it all rosy? Can you say tonight?
We had many challenges. I'm sure Mrs. Sirleaf herself, if she were on your program, will speak to that. Let me just take the physical infrastructure. Right where one of the local hotels is, there was I used to call it a crater. When you're coming from Sincor or going to the Sincor, when you got your car got there, it had to go down like it was going to the hole before it comes up. So the physical infrastructure was a challenge, a major challenge. Okay. And then you talk about the disorganization in government. The government was not together. We had to put, Minister Sirleaf's administration had to put the government together through various processes that she put into place. And so if anyone said to you that Ellen Sirleaf did not have challenges, then they're not being true to themselves. The fortunate thing was that she was a known political commodity. She was easily marketed, As a result, international attention was drawn to Liberia, and many of our partners, both new and old, came to assist us. You will remember Ebola, the Ebola crisis that claimed so many lives. If she had not provided leadership, strong leadership, I'm sure the story would have been different. And I was right in the heat of it as well as Minister of Internal Affairs. So if anyone told you that any government was an easy ride, they're not telling you the truth. Some governments pay more attention, others pay less attention. And so I'm not here really to, I can speak to issues, but I don't want to criticize or compare or contrast government. I think every government comes, it has a mandate. If they work well, the citizens will renew their mandate.
Okay.
Otherwise, they get booted out.
Okay, so let me ask you this question from my colleague Compton. I want you to be honest, with our listeners and viewers. Again, viewers kindly share our video. We have as guest Mr. Maurice Dukley. He served as Minister of State for Presidential Affairs during the administration of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Did the government that you serve in, let me ask you now one just a very honest answer. Did former President Sirleaf, did she really govern well? Or were there some excesses that you know of?
I will not speak about the excesses because then we're not probably going to have a wonderful show. I did not come here, but a mutual friend that you and I have who encouraged me to come. I am in retirement. When you're at 72, you want your peace of mind, you want to rest. I didn't come here to create a situation where I become the subject rather than what's happening in our country. I have no desire to do that. All I can say is that I was in the government. It was not easy in the beginning because the whole country was disorganized. You know that, Saba. When we moved to the mansion, there were problems. All the agencies, there were no infrastructure. The infrastructure had broken down, had collapsed. People were traumatized. And I could go on naming the issues. Our luck was that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and this is not to praise her, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf had come to government from the international community, IMF, World Bank, and so the reputation she built in those institutions helped us be able to consolidate the support she had.
Okay. Let me ask George Kennedy to pose his question to you. George?
Yes. Honorable Dukley, good evening again. I'm George Kennedy. I know you know me very well from the Daily Observer.
Yeah, George, how you doing?
Very good. Thank you. I'm fine. One question I've always wanted to ask you is that you were Minister of State, to my recollection, when fire gutted the executive mansion. You resigned. Maybe could you speak to that? We heard a lot of rumors, even though we got other sides, some people said a lot of things, but we're after the fights, even though we published the fights at the time. But here you're on the radio speaking on it, and I didn't hear it. So could you please speak to what really happened at the time that led to your resignation?
Well, look, it was an unfortunate situation because the climate at the time did not allow us to focus on the things that we needed to focus on. What happened in the mansion was that the wires had not, there were no maintenance in our building from the time the war started, from the time Talbot was killed, up until the time that Mr. Sirleaf moved into the mansion. I used to be sitting in my office, the wires under my desk popping out and people running. But then we had, on the eve of 26, we brought in a lot of heavy equipment to prepare the food for the guests. So whether it was an overload or not an overload. I'm not going to go into the technical detail. All I can say is that there was an international investigation, ECOMOG, the South African government, I think other governments. There's a living witness in the country, Dr. Famula. The last time I saw him on the program, he saw the report. I resigned because my view was that if I stay in the office, Minister Leaf never asked me to resign. She said to me when the fire took place, after Alan Doss, the special representative, was on the scene with me trying to put out the fire. So the Christmas celebration could not be held at the mansion. We moved to the foreign ministry, the conference room there, and had a program. And she said to me, we'll see tomorrow. When I returned the next day, that very night, I wrote my resignation. The reason why I wrote my resignation was I believe in my heart that if I stay in a job, however the investigation turned out, there would have been those who would have believed that I suppressed the truth and whatnot. So my absence created a level playing field for any outcome to be arrived at. That was the only reason why I resigned. I sent my letter to Minister Leaf, and she and I had a conversation. I told her I know nothing about fire, but only time hit me. And I gave her the letter. You guys are young. When you get into politics, there are certain bitter pills you have to swallow.
Sure.
Minister Leaf wanted to speak to the nation that night. She said Maurice Dukley took responsibility. It was not proper. It would have heightened the tension if I had called the press and said I didn't take responsibility. And I have a copy of my letter. They are in my office. One of my relatives in Liberia. I don't have it here, but I will try if I can access my computer and get it. I can share with you guys where I actually lay out what I thought had happened. Because that entire day, I never went to that office because in the morning when I left, I went to JFK where small like today, big like tomorrow. We had a program. The whole place where the Ghanaian delegation was going to come, the tent had not been put up. I was in the rear until they put up the tent. Then I left there and went back to Centennial Pavilion. When I arrived at Centennial Pavilion, the organization we had put in place had been changed. That is the job of the Minister of State. I oversaw that. I came back. I went to the executive mansion, behind the mansion there, where the children's party was to be held. They are not set up yet. So I was like a yo-yo on that day, and finally ended up on the fifth floor, where the delegates were arriving. In fact, I was there when the late Lenny Kessley, Dr. Kessley's wife, along with her son, Bear Kessley. And so then I decided to come down to my office for the first time in that day to use the bathroom. When I came down, when I opened my door, all I saw was smoke, huge smoke blowing from the ceiling. And all I said, it was fire. But I left the president up. So I ran down to see if I could get a security to come up. A friend, I'm not going to call her name, she had come to Liberia because she was a good friend of mine or her children for me after the program to take them toward the mansion. She called me. I said, Maurice, where are you? I hear fire in the mansion. Are you safe? So I had to find my way back upstairs. I went looking for the president. Not knowing the security had taken her out, but nobody told me that. I could have died in that fire. Fortunately, nobody died in it. We have been such that somebody had died, I would have died. And that's the truth. So that's all I know.
Okay. Oh, okay. He has a follow-up question. Yeah, quickly.
So how did you feel at the time? Because there was speculation. Though we didn't publish in the Observer because we knew that it was we didn't feel in our opinion that it was true. But for the clarity, for the sake of the public, how did you feel at the time when it was widely speculated in Liberia that during the time of that fire, the then rebel leader Sekou Damade Kone had then left your office? So there was some people speculating that, oh, probably it was a setup. How did you feel hearing if at all you heard it, how did you feel hearing such thing at the time?
Well, look, it was not in fact the correct story.
Okay.
Councillor Bia Howard were both members of the Lutheran Church. His son and another friend had young children. They had drowned in a quicksand back in the Chuba area there. On the day of the funeral, I told Mr. Salif, I'm going to the funeral of Councillor Howard's children. And I went to the funeral. And people saw me, the late Councillor Henry Bromskin, may peace be to his soul. And many others saw me at the program. So when the program was not quite over, I got a call from Mr. Salif. Morris, where are you? I said, but I told you I was going to this. Come back to the office. So I went back to the mansion. I hate to do this because it's like, you know, really talking about things that happen between me and the president. That's how I stop. You know, I've served multiple presidents, and so I don't like to go. But since for the education of the public, I will say this. So I went back to the mansion, and Mr. Salif was irate because I wasn't there when people arrived. Some of the security guys in the mansion that I did not hire had fought for Sekou Damade Kone. And my first and only contact in life with Sekou was at the American Embassy, 4th of July celebration. Sekou came to me and said, we Mandingo Po, you know, the culture, called anybody order big brother, you know, or out of respect, whether the president order, he said big brother, if you think the order. Sekou had come to me as Minister of State and said, big brother, he was having some problem. So I said, okay, Sekou, but I will call you when I'm ready so you can come or we can sit somewhere and talk. I didn't talk to Sekou. Sekou went. I know the young fellow name who took Sekou to the mansion. But then if Sekou was that feared, why did they keep him in the mansion? I was at the St. Andrew's Lutheran Church on the old road. They kept Sekou in the mansion for I don't know how long before Mr. Salif called me. Of course, I heard a lot of stories that Ms. Salif was writing, and when she lifted her hair, and I was saying, well, I got no relationship with Sekou. Huh?
Yeah.
Let the Liberian people know today that Maurice Dukley is Mandingo. Yes, my mother and father were, but Maurice Dukley does not even speak Mandingo. You understand?
Yeah.
Number two, Maurice Dukley is a Christian. Not that speaking Mandingo is wrong, or being Muslim is wrong. No, my entire background is Muslim. I respect people when we are celebrating Ramadan and Ramadan just ended. I say Ramadan Mubarak to all the Mandingos in Liberia and in other places. So that's what happened. So then when I came, they had a man in the conference room sitting there. So when Mr. Salif called me, I said, but I didn't invite the man. I was even shocked that he was in there. So I went to Sekou. I told Sekou, I said, you're going to leave. I walked him to the door, he left. And that's the total incident.
Thank you so much.
So the next day, Mr. Salif asked the SS director, you know, that I should write a statement. I gave it a statement. I had no prior relationship with Sekou. I did not know Sekou Adam Strekia. So that's a full story.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Minister. Once a minister, always a minister. Dave?
Yeah, so Honorable Dukley, my name is David Tagbe. And
Sounds familiar. You seem
yeah,
Derek Catholic?
yeah. I was at the Labrador Broadcasting System before during the time of James Waller.
Okay.
Even with Radio Veritas.
He was later expelled or dismissed from some
Because I was dismissed by Waller because I was the spokesperson of the workers' union.
workers' union.
Yeah, the same way you're dismissed.
No, nobody is there. Go ahead.
So, so Honorable Dukley, you did say that you felt uncomfortable when President Sirleaf told the Liberian people that you took responsibility following the fire incident at the executive mansion at that time. So you did resign. What did you say in a letter of resignation?
Well, I can't remember everything because it's been long. That letter is at home in Monrovia.
I'm asking that maybe you mentioned that at tourism because that was the news we heard that Mr. Duke took responsibility. But anyway, since you can remember,
that letter never mentioned. I am clear here. If Ms. Sirleaf listens to the program, she will know that I never took responsibility from her. If I had done that, I would not be sitting on live radio to say that against the former president of Liberia. I consider her a big sister. You know,
my final question, Honorable Dukley, is you served in the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government as Minister of State. Now, I heard you said that your last position was the Minister of Internal Affairs.
Yes.
Now, the Bouakai government is the continuation of the Unity Party, administration. Yes, of course, it's different person. It's a male. Ellen was a female. Since the government took over, what is your own impression about the Unity Party government you worked in before and the current Unity Party government?
Well, let me say a few quick things. I call him Uncle Joe. You call him JNB. And the real name now officially is President Joseph Nyoma Bouakai. The wife, Sis Katumo, is like a big sister to me too. So I'm saying that I'm a good friend of a long time ago, not because of the president. You haven't heard my name because I'm not looking for a job. I'm too old to work. So, but I call him Uncle Joe, and I supported him in 2017. Even attended a rally and had a big program where I endorsed him for the presidency. He didn't win. There are reasons for that. We cannot go into it. Compared to the administration I serve in, I have nothing but delight in my heart. The rules. There is no greater need that Liberia has than road connectivity. Next in line will be health services. Understand? And there are other needs. Of course, I'm not downgrading other needs, but the fact that the administration has focused on road construction, on youth, I understand a football training academy has been established. I think 1 or 2. That's commendable. Our youth need to have place to go for recreation. And so I have nothing but praises for Uncle Joe, his administration, the young people who are there, they're doing their best. And I know some of them work with me. Uncle Joe's Minister of State. And I work at LBS. He was my assistant, Sam Sikuya. So I know some of these guys. Personally, we are good friends, but I'm not in communication with them because I have a friend who used to say the Pope who is down is different from the Pope who is up. So you need to respect when a person becomes a Pope. You need to respect boundaries, and that's what I do. But I think, President Bouakai is doing a great job. and I support him because of the job he's doing. I commend him for putting emphasis on Liberia. And I also commend him for the way he's handled the Sierra Leone, not Sierra Leone, Guinea, Liberia border conflict. We've only had one major border conflict in our history, which was during the founding of Liberia, because we did not have a colonial master when the French and the British took our territory. And you know, we say in Liberia, don't hold rope, because when you hold rope hold bush, then bush can bring all kinds of things to town. I think the young man in Guinea, President Mamadi Doumbouya, is perhaps one. This could be a distraction, but we knew the history between Liberia and Guinea, or Sierra Leone and Guinea, and the three countries, the MRU, original MRU, founded in 1975. In 1975, you will not attempt to deport Sierra Leoneans, or he hasn't done it to Liberia. I hope he doesn't, because Sierra Leone begins to deport all the Fula people in Sierra Leone, you will not have space for them. You know, so we've had peace in the region, and so I think the Bouakai administration has handled it the way it should be handled. By my own determination, my experience in government, and the potential that this has to escalate. Now, those who are beating the drums of war are doing so for selfish reasons, you know. And my own appeal as a private citizen is that people don't know the history about things they should not talk about. There are legislators who just talk loosely and freely, without understanding the issues, without having any background knowledge in the issue. They just talk because they say being legislator is licensed to talk foolishness. Because when they really talk foolishness, because when I hear a sitting legislature say, my goal is to make sure that this government fails so that I can win, he has a problem. You know, and I mean, Saba talk about my views. My views are clear on certain issues. And old age hasn't changed that.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
You know, old age hasn't changed that. If you legislator, somebody said that the Guinean territory, when last, when were you there? What your foundation history or in geography of the sub-region that you talk like that? And then when you ask them a basic question, they sidetrack it, they talk nonsense. And I'm sorry about Liberian people. I'm saying I'm using the nonsense word on your stations, but you know that's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it.
Okay, all right, Mr. Minister. So before I go to Moses and I go to our young brother, kindly share the show tonight. Our guests here, you'll be here for I'm sure up to 9:20. Our guest here is the Minister of the former Minister of State for Presidential Affairs during the administration of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. He also served as Speaker of the Transitional Legislative Assembly during the war years, a career journalist with many years of experience. Moses, you can come in now with a question quickly.
Yes, Mr. Dugle, it's a pleasure to connect with you today. But quickly, I know time is far spent. Let me just ask you this. If you were president of the Republic of Liberia, and the way Honorable Yeke Koloba spoke, the declaration that the area being claimed or the area in dispute, that area belongs to the people of Guinea. And then your presidential press secretary, Kula Fofana, comes and say, Liberia is claiming the disputed area. What would have been your reaction as president?
Okay, I really didn't want to call name, go travel down that road, because then you hate feelings. I'm not here to hate feelings. But in the case of Kula Fofana, I think it's just people use language sometimes they don't understand the deep linguistic meaning. When you say claim, it means that something is not legitimately established to be your own. I'm just giving you a general interpretation. You have a lawyer on this program, so they can speak to that. So I guess it was in that light that she used the word claim. She shouldn't have used it. The further point on that for me is that if I had been Minister of State, we had a crisis like this, we have a team to do the press release, and that press release will be declared not just with my office, but the office of the president. Because one war can cause two countries to go to war. And we don't want war between Liberia and Guinea. We have one people. Travel by road to go to Guinea, or travel by road from Guinea to Liberia, you know. Many of our people speak the same languages, eat the same food, have common, not just ethnicity, but common relationships. And so to try to divide them, as the president of Guinea is doing, Mr. Doumbouya, is sad. About Yeke, you know, Moses, maybe to call you that. You were in Liberia when I was speaker. You're in Liberia when I was speaker. No legislator.
Yeah, Chief, I know.
No legislator under my gavel will be that unruly. Because the gavel is the most powerful thing the legislature has. The man who wields the gavel, listen, they've been playing with Yeke. Yeke is you know, my family comes from Lofa. Some of my family, Yeke is like a nephew to me. But all the sides I play Yeke as a fiddle. So it's hard to tell his issue. When he suits somebody, then Yeke is the man. It doesn't suit this person, then Yeke is the enemy. So that's what they've been doing with him. And he has to have the sensibility to know, the common sense to know that he's just being used. That's all. But politicians with their selfish agendas. Bwaka is there, you cuss Bwaka out. If you have no reason to cuss Bwaka, George Weah is there, you cuss George Weah out. You know, you have no reason to. You want to talk about the issue, talk about the issue. Leave all the abusive language. But that's Yeke's thing. What Yeke knows about geography? What was Yeke when the war was being fought? What does he know about Liberian history, Liberian geography? I talk about yellow line. I saw him talk about yellow line. You know? So listen, I'm laughing because that's all I can say about this. But you know, Moses and those who know me well, when I was speaker, on my time, Yeke would not try that. Because before daybreak, you're out. The platform is taken away from you. Now you can walk on Broad Street and talk from sunrise to sunset is a business. But you now use the cover of the legislature to engage in acts that are undermining of Liberian security, Liberian national identity.
Okay. All right, Mr. Minister, let's have Mr. Francis now, one of our panelists, to also ask you his question.
Sure.
Honorable Dukley, how are you?
I'm good. Zana.
Thank you for being so, informative in terms of your expose. But one of my questions I'm asking, what do you make of reconciliation in our country? Because as far as concerned, we actually breaking apart when it comes to anger, when it comes to use of words.
The use of profanity is a new element of Liberian discourse. You know, I see women even on social media. I saw one lady cussing like she's not a woman. You know, and she has a program that plays on social media. She'll cussing another woman like she doesn't have daughters, or she herself is not a woman. That was not Liberia I grew up in. Okay. And so when politicians learn to, you know, it's just politics, man. You know, I've done my part. I'm here. You know, everybody will leave. You can't stay longer than God wants you to be there. And you know, it's not possible. Him only possible if you want. Even if you want to do that. Joe will serve 6 years, and if the people determine that he has the strength to go another 6 years, we elect him. Mr. Weah, my friend, I have not talked to him since his election, but Mr. Weah was my friend. But I'm disappointed in Mr. Weah when John Hillary Tubman was killed. And not a cricket made any sound. When William Richard Talbot III, you say they are Congo people, but this man was married to a crown woman. He had 6 children. I recommend him to be peace ambassador. When he was killed, not a cricket. Nyinswa from my church. Nyinswa, I still remember, used to sit about a couple of pews before me. He had his own used car dealership. The man bought a car from him for the pastor of the church. Very respectful. He got killed. I'm not talking about the other auditors because I don't know too much about them, but there were lives, young lives that were taken. And now one day, I heard President Weah comment on it. That was disappointing. Understand? So that was where I just felt this man. And, you know, you may have heard me during the election. I missed some. I'm clear in my thoughts when I'm ready to speak. Right now, I'm not ready to speak, but somebody sort of cajoled me to be on this program. Because
Okay. All right, Mr.
That's his job. That's his job.
Mr. Minister, we got only 4 minutes to take leave of you. By 9:20, we should be taking leave of you. But let me ask this question before maybe my colleagues will have other questions, and then at 9:20 we can take leave of you. Yes, I know you are in your retirement. You praised the current president a lot. It appears that there's absolutely no excesses that you know about in this administration. It appears that all this rosy.
Pardon me for interjecting. I didn't praise him a lot. Number 2, I have not said there are no excesses in the government.
Okay, which one you know of? Which one do you know of?
No, that's not the question. I identify, you know, I'm a journalist now. I identify the things that I like, the development taking place in Liberia, road construction, for example, the football training institute, and other things. The infrastructure development taking place. I don't know how much they've done about agriculture, because that's one area of need. I'm not saying there are no excesses. You know, you got young people. I'm not saying young people are at fault, but corruption is in Liberia. From what I read, I don't know about anyone specific case, but I know from what your people, your journalists report, corruption is in Liberia. We have to acknowledge that.
Okay, so let me ask you my question quickly before we take leave of you. Like I said, we got only 2 minutes for you. If you were asked, maybe offer a consultancy to help come to boost or boost the communication arm of the government. Will you take the offer, or will you still?
Let me just say this. I don't think my family will let me take on any responsibilities at this age. They believe strongly, my children believe I've done my part, and there are more capable hands on the ground. You know, communications are hard. There's a young fellow who does JMB Son. I don't know him, but he's doing more than I expect the Minister of Information to be doing.
Wow.
You understand?
Mhm.
In the crisis, in land crisis, I don't know how many press releases I saw from the Minister of Information.
That's a job you've thrown, thrown against
I'm not
it.
throwing a job. Listen, Jeremy Pierre is a younger brother. I'm not throwing a job. You ask me about facts. Where else will I go? If it's not a job, it's got to be somebody's job. I'm not interested. Okay, all I'm saying is that a lot is there. I acknowledge that there are young people without a lot of experience, but Jeremy Pierre has experience. He has the skills. So he has to utilize his skills, his knowledge, his education, his experience.
But you said something,
Administration.
Mr. Minister, you said something that I want to bring you back. It's 9:20. We're about to take leave of you. You said in this crisis period or in this situation between Guinea and Liberia, you expected a lot of personal statements from the Ministry of Information than the wishes coming out.
Yes, the people need to be more informed. The Ministry of Information needs to work to silence the drum beaters of war, so that their voices are drowned out and overwhelmed by the positive voices for peace. I don't see that happening. But I'm too far from you. I'm too far from Liberia to know. Some days I want to listen, some days I don't. Most days I don't listen, I sleep. I'm an old man now, Sabo.
I know. Okay, so
So
please,
please, I just want to say something for 30 seconds.
okay.
Mr. Ducle, as a communicator like yourself, I rather feel vindicated because you struck a very core point, a very critical point when it comes to communication in times of crisis. My colleagues here were aware. Yes.
They should form part of our takeaway.
Have you been indicted?
Okay, Mr. Dugle, thank you so much. You did excellent. We are pleased with your presentation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, gentlemen, for the honor, and it's always a pleasure to see my dear friend Sabo Josh. So, like, you're getting younger, man.
Enjoy it.
What you job,
What you doing now? You no longer at ELBC. Where are you now? Prime?
I'm not a prime. I'm just doing a private show. That's all. A private show. This show is a private show.
I wish you all the best.
Self-supporter at that radio. Self-supporter.
Yeah, self-supporter, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Moses and I are in contact.
Okay.
Yeah, so you want to reach me, let Moses will give you my number.
Okay.
This is a public invitation. I just stop up. Not everybody.
So you throw Josh away?
Because the time difference, I don't want to be at weekend when the old man sleeping, man.
I know.
All right.
Yeah, but wonderful show, gentlemen. From my end to you, peace. And I think Liberia is on the rebound. So let's support that rebound and make sure that our country no longer goes back to war.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Minister. Once a minister is always a minister. He's a former minister of state for presidential affairs. He's Minister Maurice Ducle. He also served as Speaker of the Transitional Assembly. Gentlemen, I think we listen to him. Let's try to take a few minutes quickly to do our own takeaway, and then we talk about other discussions. We know we should be talking about the issue that has to do with the front page Africa. Some say, well, front page has told a bold-faced lie, but others say no. Front page didn't tell any lie. What the ambassador of French said is just exactly from what front page Africa reported. Dave, let me hear from you your takeaway. We just spoke with the minister.
Yeah,
the former
Honorable
Minister of
Dupleix
State.
is a very frank person, most especially on the issue of the fire that gutted the executive mansion at the time. His explanation has now cleared the air about some of the questions people had. At least today, he afforded us the opportunity to have asked him the question, to go deep into it, how it happened. And one of the best clarifications he made was that he did not take responsibility, but Ellen Johnson Sirleaf mentioned that at a public program, but he did not want to react, not to stir up any friction between him and his former boss. And that was quite correct. And about also a relationship with Sekou Damata Kone, he also clarified that they all came from there. He had no personal ties or relationship with. But at some point, he was very careful what to say and what not to say, and not to dig up old wounds.
Okay.
So it was a fine.
Okay, you went up, but I'm sure you listened.
Well, yes, I listened to Honorable Dupleix very keenly, and what I picked up from his conversation is that he's highly experienced, and he's one person who I think can still offer some kind of tutorage for most of the young people in Liberia, because someone like that come with the wealth of experience, both from the legislature and also into the executive, we can still tap into, his experience, because for a very long time, Liberia had this brain drain. Now that we're trying to pick up, in as much as he say he's 72 years old, but President Bouakai is 80 years old. You still have Ambassador Wallace and others who are, who are far younger, older than him. So I think he can just maybe have some kind of a contribution, maybe once in a while, to be able to speak to the young people. We also want to appeal to his family to allow him to do that, because it's something that he's trying to give back to Liberia. Sure. There were other things that he decoded tonight, quote unquote, the fire at the executive mansion. A lot of people didn't even know, what happened. There was a lot of, cloud around what's happened. There were a lot of statement going around. But I'm glad that tonight he was able to actually say it, the role that he's played, and quote unquote the visit of Sekou Damata Kone, and the back and forth, But I like the way how he tried to actually be human, to also talks about the way in which the president has handled this whole border crisis. Sure. To him that is the best way, and to many of us who believe, and who have actually lived in a conflict situation, we believe this is the best way to treat.
Okay, Josh, quickly.
Yes, Honorable Dupleix, I worked with him when I was in the mainstream, and even as minister or whatever position he was, he couldn't shy away from taking the camera to take photographs around. He couldn't shy away from practicing his profession. Yeah, very, very humble.
I know him.
So I seen a specific question about that executive mansion, because when I was reporting for the Daily Observer that time, so we asked him, we already published the actual story that he just explained as it is, but I still feel that you ask him so that he could further elaborate. Yeah. If I were in mainstream, I would have still carried the story as he explained. Just what he said that time to us is exactly what he said today. So nothing changed. That's how he
say he had no attachment with us.
Yeah.
I know.
So that was a speculation. Oh, he's a Mandingo man. He invited a Mandingo rebel leader in a executive mansion and wanted to kill Ellen and fire court, this and that. That executive mansion, the wire that goes there, I live around the UN draft. It's 440 votes.
440, of course.
440 votes during the process.
Of course.
That thing melted one Ekamo guy in that barracks. The man had a gun in his hand. He walked out that wire. The thing pulled him. Electrocuted him right there. 440 votes. So to see that it wasn't repaired over that time and the people put the current on it, it was not strange at that particular incident.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Moses, let's get your takeaway quickly.
Yeah, I think like all of you have said, Mr. Douglas spoke well. He's a seasoned, politician, a seasoned journalist. There's a lot that he we can tap into in getting someone like Maurice Duclay just behind the scene, talking to Kula Fofana, talking to Pia. I said, look, Pia, I think there is a way not to literally control how things are going, but just to provide a professional, advice, some level of guidance, because we all here can agree that the Ministry of Information is lagging. And we said this consistently. We have said this consistently. And for Mr. Ducle, who is not one of us, to come and reiterate the same old thing that we said just last week, it really gladdens, my mind that, some of us, when we speak, we know what we're talking about, and this is remarkable. We need a Maurice Ducle. President Buckeye is doing well, but the leadership needs a lot of help. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Nam, your takeaway.
Okay. Honorable Dukley spoke, very well. He cut a speed. He said what he wanted to tell the Liberian people. I think we learn from those errors, the common errors that people keep making. In this country, people speculate more than getting facts. People say things that they have no knowledge of. I think Honorable Dukley were able to spill out the beans to make the public to understand those things behind the scene. Sometimes things behind the scene, people don't know what happened there. They speculate and they say things that they had no idea of. But thanks to the Liberian media are very, brave institutions across the country with the limited support the media have. They do their own investigation. They go behind the scene to get the real story, the actual story. I already used to love TD Server. I mean, Mr. Kennedy said it all. I mean, his institution was always there reporting the facts.
Okay.
Like Front Page Africa to and other institutions.
He respected the unwritten code of decorum.
Yeah.
As underscored by Minister Gafuan.
Yeah.
He didn't go into detail attacking it.
No, he didn't.
That professional.
And I think my man takeaway is this extremely well. He spoke his mind, and like we've been saying on the show here, he just confirmed what we've been talking about, that in crisis period, crisis communication is very important. You should always live stories. You always make sure to have the people informed. And like you said, you expected more of that for the Ministry of Information, and that is not happening. Hoping that tomorrow we will not see people lambasting the former minister. We will not see people using invectives against the former minister. Oh, he's old, and he should go and sit down, because that's what people do in our society. Sure. We're not prepared to learn. The young people are not prepared to learn.
Another thing Honorable Ducle did, he named and shamed other people who still acting lazy and they still want to play blame game. Though they're in serious leadership position, but they want to play blame game. They want to act like they're so smart. He named and shamed them.
Yeah,
that's
true. And we're just hoping that tomorrow we'll not hear people blasting at him and saying all sort of things against him. He said it all, and when people who have seen the sun before you and who've been in the area, who are master in the area, when they try to advise, try to follow the advice. Don't come up and put your shoulders up. Oh, I'm the minister of this. That man, they didn't know why he's talking. Tomorrow we may likely hear some of the nation. But gentlemen, let's try to listen to this video quickly. You're listening to the Nighttime Heat, right here on Prime FM 105.5. Quickly. We are also streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. We are also streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Just tap Nighttime Heat, and of course, you're going to follow the show online. And of course, we are also streaming on Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. We're trying to play the video quickly. Our producer is trying to upload the video so we can have we can take a listen to this video and do our own analysis quickly, regarding the issue. It has to do with the story filed about Front Page Africa. Some said that when Front Page Africa reported that the president, the Paris leader, and Moravian president did have a telephone communication, and the Paris president, Emmanuel Macron, said no, he's not prepared to intervene in the crisis or in the dispute between Guinea. And people said, well, Front Page had told a bold-faced lie there. But others said, no, it's not true. So let's listen to 72.
We are brave.
That nothing ever sense, man. Okay, so we're trying to get a video quickly to play. And our producer is trying to,
www.rljkendejaresort.com.
Video quickly. So, gentlemen, I know he's trying to get a video, but let me get your take, Edwin, on this whole stuff. Let me get it.
So, we've had this discussion before, and our positions have not changed. That in the diplomatic cycle, presidents do not speak to second or third party who are not within mainstream government. If President Bouakai have spoken to President Macron on this matter, the first person who would know of any response will be the ambassador of France to Liberia. Or if there's no ambassador here, they will communicate to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. That's how diplomatic work. That's how the diplomatic cycle works. So for us who believe that when the story was first published by Front Page, that there was no iota of truth in it, we knew that basically people may have been speculating because they believed that the president would have reached out to Guinea. The second thing, to France, the second part about it is that Sobo and colleague, President Bouakai went to France. He was given a heroic welcome. He had a lot of discussions with business leaders and other stuff. And France, through Total Energy, has almost $1 billion investment in Liberia, signing of concessions to do oil and gas exploration. At every given point in time, if France knows that the security of Liberia is threatened, or there is anything that will actually create some level of chaos with that kind of investment that has been brought to Liberia to a French company, definitely President Macron will not look in the face of President Bouakai and say, I'm not going to get involved. When we all know that France itself has some level of control over Guinea as its former colony. So that we knew from day one. So coming from the such a statement coming from the French ambassador to Liberia is not strange to some of us.
Okay, so you believe that the Front Page lied?
I believe that 100%.
Okay, Dave, let's hear from you.
The last time we spoke about this, as Famula mentioned, I was absolutely dismissive of that story. And somebody can remember that.
Yeah.
How dismissive I was when you talk about that story. That I doubted the authenticity of that story. And true to my word, the clarification has come. I don't think, the French ambassador or the President Macron will want to communicate with President Bouakai or the Liberian.
Let me ask you that way. Let me ask you before we go further.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I really want to play the video. I thought our correspondent would, our producer would have, had the video prepared already. Now, did you really listen to the French ambassador? And if so, how do you quote her directly?
I've not listened to her.
Okay, so let's. Did you listen?
I read a communication. I read a communique that was sent to almost all of the media.
No, we're not talking about the communique. We want the voice of the ambassador. You didn't listen because we want to.
But play the voice.
You're a producer.
No,
so what was written is that different from what was said?
No. I want to hear from you.
So the French ambassador released a statement today. Yeah,
No, I'm not talking about a statement.
Listen,
Uh-huh.
listen. The statement today released by the French embassy is very clear. That the ambassador said at no time is she aware of any communication between the president of Liberia and the president of France.
Okay.
Okay. So on this matter, I still stand by what I said here the other time.
She said at no time.
Yeah, she said she's not aware.
aware.
She's not aware.
Okay, fine.
When somebody said they mean that you don't know, I can tell you.
But there was a conversation held between the two of them.
No.
Okay.
So who's
All right,
the one who's getting
Let
treated?
me let my
go
thought.
there.
Let
Okay,
me let
yeah,
my
go
thought,
ahead,
please.
go ahead, go ahead.
That thing that woman was talking about,
Let me
anybody
you
even
want to
understand
comment.
this
Go
way,
ahead,
you
go
get it.
ahead.
So I
Let me only
stay
hear
here,
you
I
heard
sit here again to say the greatest truth in this matter, or the greatest source of news in this matter,
Is
in
ambassador.
Liberia, the ambassador. No journalist, and we are trained to know sources of news, authoritative sources of news. The French embassy is an authoritative source of news on this matter. French Press Africa was not direct, we were speculating. I don't take speculation for credibility. All right? The
You
ambassador
learn?
spoke exceptionally.
Have you landed?
Play her voice. You gave me speak.
No, we're trying to get the
Yeah,
voice.
because
Moses, let's hear from you.
Look, that is what most professionals do. When you are not sure, don't make a declaratory statement.
Mhm.
Say, I am not sure. I have limited information. But when you say this did not happen, and then the information come and prove you otherwise, then that makes you to look bad. I listened to the audio on OKFM, which you're going to play. This is what the ambassador said when she spoke to reporters. She said, without an approval from the French government, she could not speak to for what or for the discussion that was held between President Macron and President Joseph Boakai. She said, and I'm telling you, she said, President Boakai apparently, you're going to listen to her. She said President Boakai apparently spoke to the president of what? France. What she could not confirm or deny is the content of the discussion because she had no such authority. Sober, play the video. Let our colleagues listen to this lady. The video is there. The woman said it. She confirmed what Front Page Africa said. She did not speak to the content, but she confirmed that there was a communication between the two leaders. So let me stop there. I got limited time, but I will listen.
Leaders, no, General, 1 minute. General, 1 minute. Mr. Nadas here. Please,
my pick on the issue is very easy. I think there are something being missing in the entire, issues.
There's a feedback on that side.
The Liberian government.
No, I said it's fun. It's fun. Yes, it's video.
The Liberian government may be hiding something. Yes. The Liberian government may be hiding something.
And what is that thing?
President Boakai will not jump on a plane and go to France and have something very pivotal and very significant to discuss. And he will keep mute and go talk about red screen and forget about the significant issues. The significant issue on
No, but they didn't say the report didn't say he went to. No, the report did say they had telephone
conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, even though they had telephone conversation, it was on President Boakai's plate that he wanted to have this discussion with France president because he tried reaching out to other presidents, and I even understand that he even reached out to one of the African leaders and the African leader, as far as concerned, he will start the mediation this week. He should be meeting,
So you want to believe that Front Page Africa didn't tell a lie?
No, Front Page Africa did not tell a lie. The Liberian government failed.
Okay.
Failed to what?
Yeah, look, so what? I'm about to leave. Gentlemen, please, I'm about to leave you guys. Let me just say this quickly. When you play that video, if you don't hear that woman saying that President Bouaka spoke to the president of France, but she could not speak to what the discussion was about, I should not come back on the show anymore. Thank you.
So Moses, if you don't want to come back on the show, you can just stay away, but don't hang it on something. So the truth is, these are leaders. We're talking about what are on this matter.
Yeah. So let me.
On this matter.
No, wait. Leaders always speak to each other.
What are on this matter?
And like I said, there is France interest in Liberia.
The France president.
So there is French interest in Liberia, quote unquote, with this whole Total Energy. And in fact, when President Bouaka went to France, they were supposed to set up this whole French Chamber of Commerce. So these are all business activity behind the scene that leader speaks about. Now, Front Page Africa was being authoritative that they had inside sources. President Bouaka reached out, and the French president said, "I'm not going to get involved."
That's why
this is what for some of us here we don't believe it, because leaders will not outrightly say to their counterpart that I'm not going to involve when they know that they have business, their country has business interests in your sovereign country, and they see that there is a potential chaos coming to your doorstep, and they will say, I will not get involved.
And that leader is a colonial power, colonial master.
The colonial master of the other state.
So we do agree that leaders can communicate with each other, right?
They do that often.
Outside of the ambassador's knowledge.
They do that often.
Of course. The ambassador is saying she cannot rule out the content of the discussion.
Of course.
But the two leaders spoke. So why would you want to dismiss what Front Page Africa said?
Did she say they spoke on this border issue?
She may not have to say it.
No. Okay, fine.
Front Page
Africa said they spoke on this border issue. And Macron said no. Let me ask you. In your own mind, you think if Liberia decides to breach the treaty, who will be the key witness in this case?
The France.
You think France will refuse to talk to Liberia on the process? In your own mind, let's speak to this.
Gentlemen, the point is, let us not dismiss that the two leaders spoke on this matter.
The only country in the sub-region, in fact, not even in the sub-region, the only country in the whole world, the two countries that may have any documentation pertaining to the border issue would be France and the United States. So there is no way in this world that the Liberian president will reach out to France to say this is the major issue we have across our border. Can you involve? The very first thing I can say is in the diplomatic cycle, President Macron would have said to President Bouaka, this is concerning. We've listened to it. We're checking our archives to see if we can put out these documents and bring the leaders together so that we can make sure we understand what is happening. The president of Guinea would not say it outrightly to the president of Liberia. The president of France would not say outrightly to the president of Liberia. No, I'm not going to get involved.
Lastly, and the issue, the argument we had was not about whether the two presidents spoke or not. The issue we dismissed was that for France to have said, I'm not going to put her in it. So Moses should understand that. Moses should understand that.
No, that's not the issue.
That's what the issue is. That's what the issue we disagree with.
No, the issue is the ambassador has confirmed that yes, indeed, a telephone conversation took place between
that was not
I'm coming now, gentlemen.
That one argument.
No, initially you said when we're
speaking.
That's always happening. I'm coming. When we're speaking of the program,
you said of the program, but on the program.
Go ahead.
The lawyer said The lawyer said, when we were speaking of the program, he said it is not possible for two presidents to speak or to have telephone conversation outside the knowledge of the ambassadors. That's what you said.
No.
Because George had come.
You didn't get me right. No. I said
it's possible that the ambassador was not around.
I said if it has to do with policy issues. Now, leader speaks. Definitely, President Macron and President Bouakai will not be on the phone and then they make it a 3-way or 4-way. But if it has to do with their country, they will always want to have somebody within their embassy being involved because it has to do with a policy issue.
Gentlemen,
if they don't have an ambassador, they will pass it to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
From what you heard, it's just unfortunate that our producer is here.
I listen to him myself.
I listen to you, but it's just unfortunate that our producer is here to get it on the air. But from what you listen to from the ambassador, I'm sure you quite convinced that the two leaders spoke, right?
About what?
What is the content of the speaking?
No. That's not the issue. That's not the issue. What is speaking? What is speaking?
Well, I can't get no.
Speaking. Your argument is both of you. As John Batagwa just lately. The argument is
John Batagwa lately.
The president of France and the president of Liberia. They didn't speak on this issue. That your argument. Yeah. They didn't speak on this issue.
And
there was no time Paris, and there was no
where Paris said no.
No, we're not going to get argument.
No. That's an argument.
But Front Page Africa reported and quoted a source.
Yeah, the source.
And the ambassador, I'm coming now, comrade. You can be talking, and I'm talking. And the ambassador confirmed that look, although I don't know the content of the discussion the two leaders held, but they spoke.
But
so why do you think?
No,
I come in. Why would you? For you, you are not consistent. You are not consistent. Initially, you said
you ready.
Two presidents don't speak outside the knowledge of the ambassador.
No.
That's what you said.
No,
now you
didn't get me right. No.
Now let me ask the question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why would you think, why would you guys think
starting from right to left,
that the president or the two presidents will not speak on this issue as Front Page Africa has reported, and Macron said, well, I'm declining to intervene. Why would you guys think of that?
Like I said earlier, because whenever your interest lies as a country, you always intervene if there are crises. And I just said to you, President Bouakai went to France. He was well received by President Macron. There were meetings held.
He went to France, not on.
I'm coming at you. He asked me question.
Let me qualify this.
He asked me question. He went to France prior to this whole event.
Thank you. It was not on the event.
We understand that. And after that, we saw French companies signing almost $1 billion deals in Liberia, total. There were other commitments made. They're about to establish the French Chamber of Commerce because a lot of French companies have expressed interest.
So that
I come in and you ask me question.
No, but you gotta be brief now.
You ask me question
now. The public.
No,
you ask me question. So based on that, France has interest in Liberia. So if there are any issues that have to do with the security that threaten their investment, President Macron would not look in the face of President Bouakai and say, no, I'm not going to get it.
They are not looking in each other's
That's
face.
my face.
No.
They are
on telephone.
They
are not looking at each other's face.
They're talking on the telephone.
We'll have the transition.
And a round question.
Yeah, a round question.
Yeah, go ahead.
And a round question.
Go ahead. Transition.
Front Page lied. At no time the French government.
I have been daily observer. You have never said daily observer.
At no time, Front Page. How to call it? Macron ever told Bouakai say, no, I don't want to intervene. No president of France, no president from the past until the world can come to an end. France being the colonial master for Ivory Coast and Guinea, that land dispute will come between these three countries. That president will say, I don't want to have anything to do with it.
Okay.
None.
All right, Dave. Let's see if
No.
So Cuba will speak.
I think
They say that
I
way.
think we've seen the same thing over here. And we've been repetitive.
So
The thing is that we are not arguing whether the two presidents spoke or not. Our point of contention here is that Page Africa reported that Emmanuel Macron or speculated Emmanuel Macron told President Bouaka that France would not put a hand in this border dispute. That's our point of argument. That at no time did Macron have said that. And even if Macron were to say that, he would tell Bouaka on the telephone or tell the ambassador here and speak through the ambassador.
Okay, so it means you are saying Front Page Africa lied. Let's see.
Yeah. Front Africa
Front Page Africa reported exactly what they got from the French government along with the Liberian government.
How do you determine that?
Okay.
How do you?
No. How does a man determine that? No, you are not asking questions.
How does a man determine that?
You are not asking questions.
As far as concerned, the Liberian government did not achieve their goals and objective.
What is that?
From the French government intervene. The French government, relatively, the French government is not really happy.
They got very interesting.
Some of those countries that France, put him behind many years ago. Okay. Guinea, France is not happy with other surrounding countries. Stick to that.
We have to transition. We have to transition.
What? From the time.
No. so this is my take. I think Africa. Front Page Africa story. Front Page Africa has broken lot of we've given us probably not because today and what Front Page Africa reported and what the ambassador said transition because I want to say that
there's a
transition, gentlemen. Let's transition. Maybe this could be our final. Presidential Press Secretary Kula Fofana. We should be having Kula anytime this week. I hope so. With Morris Dudley, government's communication. That's not the. But let me read this thing quickly. Presidential Press Secretary Kula Fofana dismisses Sam Manning claims in Liberia gaining border dispute. Okay. The Presidential Press Secretary Kula Fofana has dismissed reports suggesting that illegal economic activities, particularly send money, trickle the situation on the ground. According to her, the dispute national security matter Okay, I didn't see what she said is the source of the crisis.
Yes.
I'm coming. Come ready. Because I know you're going to talk. I know you want to apologize. I'm saying I need the reason. After she said money, send money it's not a reason, dismissing that. What is the reason for which this whole border issue started?
Because if St. Manning is not the cause of the crisis, why then the President Walker plays also
A big organization
it's an issue? Then that's the question. That's $1 million question that the executive mansion has to answer.
Okay.
No,
Trust me, I will.
something.
Yeah, but you have a whole lot of
Something
law,
there,
you
man.
have a whole lot of
Producer,
senators
something
down
playing
there.
there. You gotta be attentive. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, yes, of course, we all believe that was speculation, that the St. Manning, a lot of people attributed the crisis at the border, they attributed to St. Manning. In fact, the name of the current internal affairs minister all came in, that he had a company or had a share in a company that was doing the mining. And so, but the latest development now, the statement coming from the executive manager, from the office of the press secretary, it will raise a lot of questions. The fact that President Walker, if St. Manning is in the cause of the conflict, why then the President Walker suspend the St. Manning in the area? I'd like to stop on that question.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't think by any way Kula's statement is totally wrong of what she said. No, because you're saying you're trying to put St. Manning and another issue. Now, the onset of this whole conflict started with the seizing of the dredging machine between the two border states.
Following St. Manning activities.
Yes, following St. Manning activities. But you see, and she was keen to say there are other sensitive national security issues that have been handled outside of this whole activities. And you don't expect her to come and say it to the public as to what these national security issues are.
Right.
But let me say this. Sometimes when leaders meet, and there are other intelligence that the counterpart may have received, they don't want to put it out. So they look for the smaller things to push it out there and say, look, this is the problem, right? And if you've listened to all of the reporters from that border area, there's a guy there, I think the superintendent or so, he said, all of our lives, we've been mining sand from this river and we've never had this kind of a situation, right? So we may not be in the know what is the actual issue behind this whole thing, because, and I say this, let's be very candid here. If this was sand mining or mining activities going on in the river, right? The president had come up to say, look, let's cease all activities that has to do with mining in the river. Do you think the Guinean will still be present now on our soil? They won't. But now they would have gone back. Say, the two parties have agreed that there will be no activities.
You said something,
but
I want to bring you back to that.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
You said the equipment belonging to BK company.
Yeah, were seized and taken to Guinea.
Seized.
Yeah.
As a result of the same money, right? Let's hold you there. Let's go ahead, sir.
Thank you. I want to thank Kula, the government of Liberia, for now trying to narrow this thing to the real cost.
The real cost, yes.
When Kula underscored for security reasons, it covers all the other aspects.
Of course.
It tells you that all the other aspects were rumor, speculation. Now it's narrowing to security
the main issue
between the two countries. So that's the message that I gather from her. And that, if any journalist listen to this and you don't take it as the news, then I don't know what else you'll be looking for. Because We've searched all around to look at the real link for this particular invasion and shooting incident of our citizen and hosting of flag and everything. Now it comes to security issue. It shows that the two states are now working together.
They're deeply talking behind the scene.
Working together. You know, let's not forget, Mr. Dumoya overthrew in Guinea. When people overthrow, most of the time they are neighboring countries. They feel insecure with those neighboring countries.
They are looking at what they have showed us.
The dust can really settle. So now, we can't go into further details on that, but I think
now let me ask you. You are a very active reporter on
mainstream, yeah.
You are in mainstream. Is it right for a journalist or a communicator to state that this issue that people are talking about, it is not an issue, and at the same time to fall short of what is the main issue? Is it right?
No.
Okay.
She was in hurry to break the news. Because she was in hurry to break the news, she fell short somewhere, and she must admit that she fell short somewhere.
Okay, let me hold you. Dave.
Yeah.
The same question goes to you. You are a communicator. And I'm asking this question against the background of even what we heard from this senior communicator. Is it right? Is it fair to the public? Because the public are the consumers of your product. Is it fair to the public to state that, look, the crisis in the situation between Liberia and Guinea is not as a result of send money, as many have been speculating, but fell short of saying what is the issue.
Then the statement has left the public in suspense. Because the most important thing is people want to know what is the cost, what's the real cost. And besides that, the fact that the president suspended mining or sent mining in the area, and then I think placed some hold on the operation of BK, the BK company, that validated the speculations that send money was a cost. That how everybody people see that. If there's any reason, they state it out to totally dismiss that speculation. But the president action came amidst the speculation that it was send money that caused the conflict or causing the conflict.
Okay, Mr. Trained Journalist.
I just disagree with the both of them. Kula's statement stated exactly
the reason.
What is the reason?
National security.
No.
Do you expect us to say the nature of national security?
That is vague.
No, it's not vague. No.
It's never vague. No. Let me say to you.
No, I can't come.
No, you're not coming.
All right, go ahead.
I'm staying there.
Go ahead.
Let me say to you. That's why. That's why when you were reading her comment, I didn't just say that to listen.
Yes, go ahead.
No.
So you expect us to see the nature of national security?
She said, what happened? What?
Let twin brother talk.
They always tell me at 3 a.m. Go ahead.
Yeah. I know.
Go ahead.
Before you said Miss Kuda, you should read her statement. She was very clear. She said, not send money.
Granted, which was read.
She said it is a national security. It's a security matter that cannot be.
Do you expect Mamusu way there in Grand Cape to understand what you mean?
When you say send money,
do you expect
Mamusu know the thing about send money?
Mamusu will understand that.
No, Mamusu
because Mamusu's son will tell her, but when you come and
but someone you have not asked me to speak yet. Ask me.
I speak. No, you spoke already.
No, I'm not speaking. No, you haven't me.
I fear the presidency or the national security people when they speak, they say this is a security matter.
The point is,
it's already news.
Mr. Kennedy.
Then you two are
Mr. Kennedy. Mr. Kennedy. Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Kennedy, I don't want to mute your microphone.
Yeah, you can mute.
Listen, the point is,
Gentlemen,
When
put
this-
on the impression
Mr.
you're going
Kennedy,
to agree to it.
Mr. Kennedy, when this whole thing started,
Now, we won't worry about it.
You're a journalist here. You agree to him on that. You didn't listen to the reading.
No, my point was
one
clear.
minute,
My
one minute,
position was clear.
gentlemen, 1 minute.
Nobody put me under pressure. My
Okay,
position was
yeah.
clear.
Gentlemen, 1 minute. There's absolutely no way that candidate and family,
Oh, Jesus.
the two apologists, can
Yeah.
convince us on this program.
Yeah.
But you have not asked me to convince you
Why
yet.
you convince
I-
me?
no, that's
you
what I'm-
support the man that your twin brother is
No,
supporting.
but ask me to
Nothing-
speak.
nothing different can be seen.
Ask me to
The
speak.
point
Oh,
is-
no, but
The point is, when the whole thing sparked, like David said, all we knew was about send money. To support that, the government took an action, which we all appreciated, suspended the activities of the BK company that was involved with the same money. Besides, because of the same money, equipment that were being used.
To send mine were confiscated. So that also validated.
Look,
the
let's try to
idea.
open the
No,
line.
please, let me speak, let me speak, that chief. No, that's my time. Summer, that's my time to speak.
Okay, that's your time. Yeah, go ahead. You
Summer.
spoke. I don't have any time. to speak.
No, I've not spoken.
But two people.
I've not spoken. You asked Jomo me because you knew my stain. First of all, Summer, let me say this. When state actors come and tells you national security issue, when state actor tells you national security issue, it means that it's still classified. That's what people do. That's why there are certain issues, right? They will say it's classified information. You don't expect the presidential press secretary to come and say, this is the national security situations in the country
Then you know the best
that
thing to
led
do?
to this. Let me speak.
No, you're not being fair.
Okay, go
Then
ahead.
you are coming. Then you know the best thing to do.
Keep silent.
As a communicator,
To do what?
since you prefer not to tell the people about the issue of the crisis, what caused the crisis, what brought the crisis.
That's security matter.
You get what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
are coming and Kennedy, I know your blood boiling.
Why the brand?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Since you decided to say, look, what is obtaining there is not what people think, which is same money. Rather, it's security matter. So as not to leave our people in suspense.
You come here explain security matter?
Listen, everybody, listen. So as not to leave the people in suspense, you remain mute. Let people carry water, same money. Let people carry whatever. Remain mute.
No,
No, let me tell you, there are certain things.
Chief,
No,
I'm coming
I'm
out.
coming.
You spoke
No way.
relatively.
There
Yeah.
are certain information that should remain unsaid.
Also,
Leave it like that.
so why you say security
As a
matter?
communication person, leave it like that.
I
Don't
disagree.
explain anymore.
Someone, let me say
Disagree
this.
with you.
Someone, let me say this.
Okay, I gotta
No,
open the line.
I
Nobody
didn't hear you,
spoke.
Jomo. I mean, no.
You spoke.
You were not
I gotta
listening.
open the line. Before you put the sim, you spoke.
Go ahead.
0778 460 793. Again, 0778 460 793 or 086 050507. 086 050507. 0778 460 7. Look, there are certain things that remain unsaid. Let me announce also the alternative line 0776 540 987. 0776 540 987. The first call on the line. Good evening.
Hello,
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you.
this is Joseph calling from Buzokoda.
Let's hear from you, Joe.
Yeah, my question. Say the poor poisoning of the president said it was not the same money. But then is the problem solved now?
The problem
Say it was not the same money that caused the problem. Is the problem solved now for the Guineans stay on our territory?
Okay.
That's the question we should be asking the government officials. Is the problem solved now? Or the people that stay occupying our space?
we saw. Don't worry.
Okay.
That's my question go to them.
Okay. All right. They will answer your question. They are here from government cycle. They will answer 0778 460 793. Again, 0778 460 793 or 086 050507. Again, 086 050507 or the alternative line 0776 540 987. Good evening.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
I'm okay.
Yes, my storm have to do with if we not send money, then why PK company property was they give it to people start a business?
Good question.
Okay. All right. No, answer your question. Yeah.
You know, sometimes government, especially Kula, they ask so many times in our very studio, Kevin, Kula, always that little. You understand you paid for it to and to say something to the public, but don't just leave the public suspend.
Okay. Many thanks. 0778 460 793 or 0886 050507 or the alternative line 0776 540 987. You are listening to the Nighttime Heat, right on Prime FM 105.5. This other caller. Good evening.
Mr. George, good evening to you.
Yes, sir, Chief.
Someone, let me say good evening to you. Thanks for your platforms and good evening to your guys in studio.
Okay.
My name is Mohammed M. Kanetian. I am a member of the Unity Party in the WO and still even to the system, but I'm something to that. Mr. George, the whole issue concerning about nutrition, because you know, the way in which, rather than dragging the word here, that we say that the government having the okay, and to be very Liberia is on a council, okay? So I don't know the way some of them they are perceptive, they coming from, because I don't know whether they want to create to say that Liberia should go and even carry work on our Guinean brother and sister. And I don't think that would be correct with their or what else society. Because
comparing those.
Security Council.
They're comparing those.
Definitely. So I think the way you work is that you know the people that are working in this country, that is very important on the platform. And unfortunately, on recording for this, okay? Our citizen, then they are the one they want to quote something in this country that the soldiers should carry fewer tension.
Okay. Okay. All right. I think you made your point already. Another caller is on the line. We have to take more calls quickly. 0778 460 793 or 0886 050507. Again, 0886 050507 or the alternative line 0776 540 987. We take this caller quickly. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Low community.
Okay.
The whole issue in my own mind, any other thing, we're not saying issue. But if you are only same money, the equipment, take them to Guinea, and then they put hot in Liberian government to the project, I think you need to cross on Liberian soil. But if you stay on Liberian soil and the same money is not good wrong. Anybody tell me it is same money or something.
Okay.
Because the guy puts his share on the people of Guinea, so he feel that everybody just afraid of him. He say, like, bro, go to hell. We ride on them. So they just taking this country to reason. But we, the Liberians, are supporting the Guinean. We giving it. And I was saying the both people going, but they feel that we have misunderstanding among ourselves, and we don't even like the swear the people on. We're not taking that swear to be part of Liberia only because they were the people we Liberians we don't like from. So all of Liberians happy. So the support they getting from Liberia through our conversation, I think this is what making no God brave to stay be there. But if you were saying money, they no God in Guinea.
Okay.
I was talking around the table.
Okay. All right. Many thanks. 0776 540 987. That's the alternative line. Let's take this caller quickly on this alternative line. Good evening.
Hello. Yeah, good evening. David Koti, my name.
Let's hear from you, Mr. Cody.
Thank you. And I've been following the show from the beginning up to now, and thank you to all of you. I want to say thanks to Minister Dukley. Everybody knows that this whole thing is not about sand mining business. No. Common sense would tell you everywhere for sand mining. By this time, the Guineans have been going back. I even heard that they are in some part of Nimba again. Is this sand mining also going on in Nimba? No. The whole thing here is that somebody thinks that he has more strength when it comes to the military, or he got more tanks and aircraft, and he wants to encroach on our land. And you see, this is why I feel so sick when I hear people trying to praise or support Yeke Koluba. All of us should know that this is a big disgrace to the entire country, to even have a man like that sitting in there. But I hope you can invite him one day, we'll address it. But this whole thing is not about sand mining. If it were for sand mining, the Guineans would have been gone back long time. They are still here. The main reason is to get some of our land, period. And I don't want to get to the Kula Fofana issue. And if this man does not want to come back, Mr. Sandy, don't come back, I'll be very happy.
Mr. Sandy is still listening to the program.
I know he's listening. Oh, but the man was not yet. He credit me that I left. But I know he's still listening. So you want to come back, stay there, my brother.
Okay.
You're embarrassing.
Thank you.
Make the whole thing shut. It's not about sand mining. Somebody feels that he's strong. And I told him the other day, Domoya, on OKFM, my friend, go ask Donald Trump, who told you he had the best air defense system in the whole world. Little Iran has disgraced him in all of the Middle East. Disgraced him. It's not about this a feeling of being indispensable and so all powerful. You gotta stop it. We know you got 15,000 military people, and we just got 2,000 here. We don't have tanks here. We don't have airplanes here. But be careful. God has a way of saying enough is enough. You gotta stop, Dumaya. Stop. Thank you.
Okay. 0778-460-793. For the next 5 minutes, we take calls and then we'll wrap it up. 0778-460-793. Let's take this other call on the line quickly. Good evening. Hello? Hello? It's low. 086-050507. Again, 0886-050507 or 0776-540-987. That's the numbers to call and you are live. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And let me say good evening to the many listeners from the broadcast. It is William Covey, and I attended this conversation from this today as a member of the Party Intellectual Bureau. Well, let me appreciate all of you for the very key point. So for me, ever since the beginning of the entire border issue between Guinea and Liberia, I knew that this was not about sand money. And even some Liberians here trying to politicize the entire issue, about shifting their own government officials because those people, are belonging to their party. So they believe that they can politicize the issue to, make the government look ugly. But for some of us, we knew that this is not a sand money local. Another journalist is reporting that Guinean authority have heard that the Fulani have established their own security firm in Liberia. It means that Liberia is aiding and aiding the civilizing of Dumuya's government. So all of those things can make Dumuya to feel insecure and other things. And I think last year or years before last again, somebody were formed in Lopa, trying to recruit people to go into Guinea, Liberian government, grabbing, and then they turn over to the Guinean government. So almost there is a second incident now of opposition in Guinea trying to establish security firm. So make Dumuya feel insecure. And this is the reason why some of us keep telling other Liberians politicizing this thing. There is no time for our domestic.
Okay. All right. You made your point. Let's take additional calls quickly. We got about 3 minutes to go. 0778-460-793, or better still, 0886-050507. Again, 086-050507. That's the numbers to call, or the alternative line, 0776-540-987. Good evening. Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, someone Josh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the last time I checked the name, someone it means rock, someone.
Hey, but go ahead now. Go ahead.
Thank you. This is the voice of Sabu Rasta.
All right. I know.
Yeah, the last time I told me, he said he's posted in crew. He said they know the dirty. Yeah, black them won't play again there. He said nothing happened without a cost. Nothing in the war it happened without a cost. Anything that you see happening, it happened for reasons. It's only behind it. Look, my brother, and the most frustrating part is after we voted people that can speak good English, people that understand diplomacy, people that know how it takes to understand what is called accountability and transparency, to be transparent to your people, to come clear. Look, what the government having for the Liberian people. We voted this government because they told that they are qualified. They said they're able to run. They said the last time I checked, they said we get our country to ball. Instead of taking a country job to give it to men, they say we take it from men and give it to ball. But now we're going to see the men, after we take the country from the boy and give it to the man, for the men that they give it to my brother. Like what I can't get wrong. Can you imagine, brother, someone just in terms of external aggression? Well, why is he giving to behave the way they behave? Because our president, I mean, so, he playing the, leadership role, he don't care, and that's why he did the way he behaving. Look, my brother, in terms of external aggression, like many people, you can always see facing external aggression. But today, to see police people facing external aggression, and so, that is actual speak, and what the actual president is speaking that name, my brother. We never get that name back.
Okay.
We cry. They never fall for all.
Okay.
They follow who does not care for the children.
Okay. Many thanks. Many thanks.
Thank God I will not say.
Let me take this last call off from this end quickly. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Michael, calling from District 14.
Okay, Michael. Let's hear from you.
I just want to ask you a question. My number one question is, do we have a bowler now? If so, can we post our bowler? Then we will know the actual fight what's going on. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So, gentlemen, I think we can go further. We can take additional calls. Dave, let's see, get your part.
I'd like to close on this note. And thank God that you said Moses is still listening. I think Moses has to understand that the David Tagba you're looking at will not use word that he doesn't have command over. The first thing is that, look, I have a very solid literature and English background.
Like cool, man.
Very solid one. So if I use the word quagmire, Moses has always pitied himself for know everything. It's wrong. You don't do that. So you don't do that to me. I come from a very solid foundation in terms of grammar, English literature. So yeah, I want you to know that today.
That's a parting comment?
That's my parting comment.
Oh, okay.
So yes, to the concern of the callers, look, you can rest assured that this border crisis will be solved. And like the president rightly said, we're using all diplomatic channels to make sure that we solve this problem. Look, when people talk about national security, there is a word in security called coded. That's not everything that you explain. And I've read some stuff even from government cycle on the internet, but even the same thing here, trying to give their own explanation on it. And I feel, and from my own perspective, if I was a senior person in government, we would have get the security people to call that person to give us their source, because they were quoting sources, that they're saying that, oh, this is the cause of XYZ. I think it's been premature. Even if you hear this kind of things, you don't put it out, because there are security concerns around these things. And like I said here, and I think Mr. David Kuti also reiterated that, if this issue was purely same-minded issue, by now it has been solved. In fact, the two border towns would have even been the one to solve it. It even have even reached as far as Conakry. But there is something deeper behind the same-minded issue.
George.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here tonight. It was a good show, and I love the interaction.
We're always glad to be here, man.
Yes, I want to thank the executive mansion tonight. I call it breaking the ice because of the fact that the whole border issue is now narrowed to national security issue. For me now, if I'm in ministry, I will not try not to be reaching out to my security sources. What really, now when I be going to send money, all the different things, agriculture, all the things. No, I will focus now on security issues and so on.
So what is the fate of the PK?
They have been free, definitely, because because the statement is very clear. The statement say the government doesn't have. Government view doesn't reflect the understanding of why the BK thing this that. So it's clear.
BK is of the whole.
BK is of the whole.
I can quote you on that tomorrow.
And you'll be brief before going outside about that matter.
So there is that tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll report that.
I'm not in ministry again. If I'm in ministry, that will be the breaking news.
Please, from what we're gathering, I think the Guinean government is so scared. They worry a lot. They feel that something can chase them or something about to chase them. So they think they can cross every red line. Liberia is not all for fighting. This country has experienced a lot. Our government focus right now is to build unity among our people, create peace, and create a leverage that our border security will be stronger, but we're not fighting. I think the Guinean authorities should understand they need to respect sovereignty, they need to respect border line.
Okay.
And
So let's hold
stick to who they are.
Let's hold there. Let's try to recognize some of our viewers, not all. Melvin Nathaniel Roosevelt didn't say from where you've been watching. Siliki Traore didn't say from where you've been watching. Shadrach Quiming from Nimba County you've been watching. Martonian Son from FDA Junction. Abraham VN from Gardnersville. Alfonso Gallup from Johnsonville. Francis Nine from Benson Street. Political Yen, ladies of where Ophelia George, they're watching from home. Well, this is just how we go home on this presentation of the program. Join us tomorrow for another fascinating edition of the program. Until then, Sabo George is my name. Have a pleasant night.